good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is William Lawson. We appreciate you being here this glorious day. I had to get this happening because this just took place. Now, I'm going to lead with this may be nothing. This may be zero, nothing at all. But if it is, uh, so we clearly knew that this whole Trump trial was a sham it was a setup from the get up. The verdict was baked into the cake long before the open arguments began. But now we've got some evidence, hopefully. Judge Merchan's office issued a letter to Donald Trump's defense team alerting them that one of the jurors discussed the verdict with a family member who later shared that foreknowledge on the court's public Facebook account. Facebook is back in the news. Stop it. So we'll see what happens. It could just be troll bait. It could be nothing. It could be just somebody just trying to get stuff stirred up. But this trial became more of a circus if this is true. I mean, it just became it's got monkeys, it's got elephants, it's got jugglers and clowns. Clowns to the left of me, Joker to the right. Here I am, sucking it with you. The person who posted the verdict claimed to have a cousin on the jury for Donald Trump's trial. So this is, let's see if I can make this big enough for me to read to you, and I cannot. But anyway, it says, there's a letter from Judge Merchan here. It basically says that, dear counsel, today the court has become aware of a comment that was posted on the United States court system's public Facebook page, and which I bring to your attention. In the comment, the user Michael Anderson states, quote, my cousin is a juror, says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all your hard work. What it says. The comment, now labeled one week old, well before the verdict, right? Responded to a routine USC notice posted on May 29th, 2024 regarding the oral arguments in the 4th Department of the Appellate Division, updated to this proceeding. The posting entitled the Appellate Division 4th Department will hear oral. So this comment happened before anything was released. This happened basically before the trial started. If this is true, this verdict is going to be thrown out. It's going to be thrown out. There won't be any. They won't have any choice. But like I always say to you, what do I always say to you? I always say to you this: that the left always does what? They always go too far. They always get too excited. They always push too far. Now, again, this may be troll bait. This may be nothing. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's not. But we'll have to see. And what I want people to do is, and I say this phrase a lot, I want you to keep your powder dry. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But we want to make people aware that this has happened, because the media will memory hole this stuff, and I'm sure that what isn't happening right now on the evening news is there's going to be 175 minutes of coverage across the major networks talking about this happening. That's not happening in the major media. No, not at all. Not at all. So it's up to Paul and I and people like me, Douglas V. Gibbs, Political Pistachio, C. O'Brien, a whole bunch of people who are out there in this space to kind of let you guys know what's happening about this. All right. That's what's going on. All right. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back with one more story that, frankly, I don't even want to do. I'm going to do it, but I don't want to do it. Because it's just stupid. It's just dumb. But we're going to do it anyway. All right, we'll be back right after this. They called us the elders. We were born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. We grew up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We studied in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We dated in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We got married and discovered the world in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We ventured into the 80s and 90s. We stabilized in the 2000s. We became wiser in 2010. And we are finally moving beyond 2020. It seems that we've lived in 8 different decades, 2 different centuries, and 2 different millennia. Now, we've gone from the telephone with a long distance operator to video calls anywhere in the world. We've gone from slides, Ektachrome, to YouTube, vinyl records, to online music, handwritten letters, to email and WhatsApp. From live game radio, to black and white television, to color television, and then to 3D high definition television. I went to the video store, and now I watch Netflix. We met the first computers, punch cards, floppy disks, and now we have gigabytes on our smartphones. We all wore shorts in our childhood, then trousers, then Oxfords, Rockets, full shells, and blue jeans. We dodged infantile paralysis, meningitis, polio, tuberculosis, swine flu, and now COVID-19. We used to ride roller skates, tricycles, bicycles, mopeds, gasoline or diesel cars, and now we drive hybrids or electric cars. Yes, we've been through a lot, but what a life we've had. They could describe us as exemplars. People born in that world of the 50s, 60s, 70s, who had an analog childhood and a digital adulthood. We're like, I've seen it all. Our generation has literally lived and witnessed more than anyone else in all dimensions of life. It is our generation that has literally adapted to change. A big round of applause to all the members of a very special generation, which will be unique. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been the Morning Report. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, when one person is doing this, it makes it super tough. Anyway, before I show this clip and we talk about it, this is a clip from the WNBA, and this clip that is less than 10 seconds is probably the most WNBA basketball I have watched in my entire life. Because it's before if you get on social media, it's in front of you all the time. The WNBA is not new, by the way. A lot of people think that is new, and that should be more insulting than anything, that somebody thinks that the WNBA is new. Uh, WNBA, the Women's National Basketball Association, has been around for a long time. A long time. It started. in 1996. Uh, that's when the league was founded. They played their first game in 1997. So we're like 97, 2007, 2017, and so it's more than 20 years old. And you didn't know. And it's got 12 teams, I guess. You didn't know. And I'll tell you why you didn't know. Because you don't care. This is the sad reality that the WNBA has to face. WNBA is financed uh, exclusively by the NBA. So when people whined about Angel Reese, the girl from LSU, and Caitlin Clark, the girl from Iowa, coming into the league and not making a lot of money, people are like, "Why aren't they making as much as the men?" Well, it's just like it's just like soccer, because the men's game makes a lot of money. So there's a lot of money to go around. The women's league, the WNBA, makes almost no money. Well, none in comparison, right? So and has never made a profit. The hard truth is that goes always unspoken about the WNBA in many women's sports league is they are not profitable. The simplest reason why the NBA isn't paying Clark or Angel Reese with more money is the league brings in just $200 million a year and relies for the NBA for most of its funding. It's a simple economic thing. Now, can the NBA make money? I think it can. We'll talk about that after we watch the clip. The awful part is that here's the deal. The deal is that we wouldn't even be talking about the WNBA if it weren't for this kid, Caitlin Clark. Now, those of you who thought Caitlin Clark was as good as any of the men basketball players, I saw a tweet that someone said, who who is she better than? And it had all these players, and I was like, none of them. Caitlin Clark and most of the women in this league couldn't beat a good boys high school basketball team. I know, and that just made some of you your heads just explode, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Let's see if I can get the clip going. Wish me luck. I'm pressing the right buttons. Oops, let's see here. Oops, what am I doing? There you go. All right. Kennedy makes, boom, there it is. As you see, Kennedy I can't see, a number 7, I think her number is. All right. She's going to come around. Watch her. She's going to come around through the key. Makes the shot. Here's Caitlin Clark right here. No factor. Absolutely no factor at all. She sort of gets face guarded, but she dumps one. Kennedy dumps one from here. Goes in. Boom. Seems like that's just a whatever play. Doesn't require. I mean, the score is Indiana, the Fever, up 53-47. It's the third quarter, so it isn't like the game's on the line or anything. It isn't. But let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and move this forward. Let's see if we. Okay. All right. There. Right there. There's the player who made the shot just now. She's staying in to pressure the basketball and to keep the inbound pass from happening. So what do? You make a presence here. Here's what you don't do. I think. That right there. and there she goes to the ground. It's a flagrant foul. I mean, it just is. It's a hard foul. Shouldn't be allowed. They should tee her up, and that should be the end of it. But apparently, Clark is getting hammered by everybody in the league at this point. Now, I think it's just Willie. I just think, because you guys know that I'm kind of a fan of sports, and I wore my Lightning shirt because it isn't that I'm adverse to violence in my sports. I like a little violence in my sports, a little fighting every now and again. Where fighting's only a 5-minute penalty, you get a 5-minute timeout, or busting somebody in the mouth at a hockey game. Gotta freaking love it. But anyway, so here's the deal. The deal is that we saw the foul. It was flagrant. They have a upgrade of flagrant fouls here in basketball. I think she should be teed up. Technical foul. Clark gets to shoot a free throw, and the Fever gets the ball back, and you move on with life, right? So everybody's analyzing why this is happening. Now, here's part of what a lot of you don't want to hear. Caitlin Clark, when she was at Iowa, ran up and down the court with impunity. She did whatever she wanted to do. It wasn't like she was a nice girl when she was playing basketball at Iowa. She was not. But she was a star and got away with a lot of crap. This is what nobody is saying. She did. And now she's sort of getting her comeuppance. I just told you what happened to her right then was not a good thing. Now, I also think that a lot of these other players in in the WNBA are upset because the WNBA has sort of operated in this anonymity, and now this great white hope has come in. Now all people are talking about is Caitlin Clark. They're not talking about the WNBA. They're not really talking about the 20 plus years of the WNBA and all the players that have gone through. They're talking about this rookie, this white rookie, who apparently is not a lesbian. Unfortunately, that's a dynamic. And you're saying, Willie, why do you gotta talk about race and sex? Well, because most of the league is black, and 36% of the league identifies as lesbian. These things, because you have a people group here. You have a people group. And people group crap figures into people's. People's crap figures into the group there. And the group is the WNBA. The group necessarily isn't black basketball players. The group isn't even female basketball players. Black lesbian basketball players that play in the WNBA. That's the people group. So you have to deal with people in that group. And all these things figure in. Now, what do I think Caitlin Clark should do? I think Caitlin Clark should just play good basketball as much as he can. Protect herself and play good basketball. I think she should go to her coach and go to her teammates and go, shh, it's okay. It is what it is. We're just going to play basketball. We're just going to try to win games. Caitlin Clark is the only one that can turn the thermostat down. What we're going to do, we're just going to play games. We're going to try to win games. We're going to play good ball. Don't worry about it. Our coach apparently it takes these tapes that I played for you, and she sends them to the league, and they're complaining, and that just makes things worse. The best thing to do to a bully is to beat them. And that's why sports is great, because what really matters is the scoreboard. It's the scoreboard. We win. We win. We win a championship. We blah blah blah. We win. That's what matters. This that we're seeing now is just a bunch of middle school girl teenage BS. And what's the shame? And the shame of it is that nobody would care about the WNBA unless they had some cat fighting, unless it was like lesbians of the WNBA or housewives of the WNBA, right? All they care about. So that makes it more salacious. Oh, and I see posts from white conservatives especially like, look at her, they don't like her because she's pretty. Yeah. She's a really tall, not very attractive basketball player. I don't care. It isn't like Caitlin Clark is some supermodel. She's not. She doesn't have to be. And yes, she is being treated, I think, unfairly. But she's sort of got to strap it on. Get with it. Get in that weight room. Put some muscle on. If they want to play like that, let's play. I think that will gain her respect from a lot of players, including her teammates and her coach. And that's the way forward. Not, you guys on social media, they mistreating her because she's white. Stop it. Stop it. You hear me? Stop it. Well, I got to get out of here. Anyway, so until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.